Hello friends. When we start learning a new skill, it is always a best practice to know about the tools which could be very helpful in learning the skill faster. And once we learn that skill, those tools could be our best friends to apply our learnings in an efficient and professional way. So in this video, we will be discussing about different tools that will make our learning journey easy. And once we are efficient in this skill, these tools will help us to do our job in a professional way. Apart from this, also we will get to know about many things like why we should use Windows PowerShell ISC or VS Code always while working with PowerShell. In case we are already using ISC, why is it right time to move to Visual Studio Code? How we can make PowerShell ISC like environment in VS Code? And many more other questions will get answered by the end of this video. So before we discuss about tools, let me discuss quickly about evolution of PowerShell so that we may understand better where to use which tool. PowerShell is built on .NET Framework. It provides a very friendly interface of .NET assemblies and classes. PowerShell language is not a case sensitive, means we can use capital letters or small letters in code. It doesn't matter anything. Now let me discuss little bit about its evolution. PowerShell first came in 2006. It was not part of OS but could be installed separately on OS like Windows XP, Windows Server 2003 or Windows Vista. It was an optional component of Windows Server 2008. The next version came in 2009 with different operating system. Then in 2012, 13 and 16, always a new version of PowerShell kept on coming. Then in later 2016, it came a major change. PowerShell was declared as open source. Then in 2018, it came all new version of PowerShell. That was PowerShell Core 6.0, leaving behind Windows PowerShell family. And it changed the whole landscape of PowerShell. Now it was not limited to Windows only, but it could be used with any platform like Linux, Unix or Macintosh as well. Then later it came different versions of PowerShell core like 6.1, then 6.2, then 7.0, and nowadays it is 7.1.1. There are two ways that Windows PowerShell can be updated. Either we update OS itself or we can update it using WMF, that is Windows Management Framework. That is a complete package of required .NET software, DLLs, and all required components that are required to update PowerShell. Suppose in case we have Windows PowerShell 4.0 and we want to update it to 5 point something. We can update it by downloading required version of WMF and then installing it without changing our operating system. On the other hand, if we want to update PowerShell core, then we can simply install next available version of it and it will replace the existing one. And as you can see, this is very important to note down that Microsoft is no more providing feature updates in Windows PowerShell, but it is only providing security updates and bug fixes only. But in PowerShell core, it is receiving feature updates, security updates, and bug fixes as well. So we can say like now PowerShell core is the main candidate to enjoy focus of Microsoft. In this table, we can easily get the difference between Windows PowerShell and PowerShell core. Main things that I would like to highlight is that the difference of installation path. As you can see, PowerShell core has different path and Windows PowerShell has different installation path. It means they both can exist all together same system. Second is Windows PowerShell is launched as PowerShell.exe, but PowerShell core is launched as PWSH. And next one is PowerShell ISC is the interpreter for Windows PowerShell, but for PowerShell core we have Visual Studio Code. In case you are not aware about these tools, please don't worry. We will be discussing them just in few minutes. Let me see a quick demo about how we can install PowerShell core. To install PowerShell core, first we need to download it, and we can download it from internet. We need not to remember the URL for its setup. We can just type PowerShell core download, enter, and by default the very first link or second or third, maybe the link that indicates to github.com should be the one from where we need to download setup. If we scroll down, we will see that there are setups, so we need to choose one setup as per our OS version. So mine version is x64-bit Windows, so I need to download a MSI file. Please check this one, like stable one, MSI. So it will download my setup. As soon as my download is complete, just click this, it will start the setup. Once our setup is started, we can close this browser window and we need to click next. Please make a note of this path, like this is different from our Windows PowerShell path. So click next. No need to change this, just keep it as default. Next. Please ensure that this check mark is checked, like add PowerShell to path environment variables, so that PowerShell core paths may be added to our environment variables. So click next. We can go with default ones. Next, install. As we can see, our setup is running, and now our setup is complete. So we can click launch as soon as our setup is complete. Finish. Now our window for PowerShell 7 is open. This is PowerShell core. If you want to check, we can also check like PS version table. Enter. You can check here like PS version is 7.1.1 and PS edition is core. We can close this window, and if we want to run this PowerShell core again, we can run it by typing in search button like pwsh, and we should see a button like this, and click this, and our PowerShell 7 is open. If we want to check PS version tab, enter. This is PS version 7.1.1 core. Now let's move back to our slide part. Windows PowerShell Integrated Scripting Environment, ISE. This is a tool you are going to use at every step when using PowerShell. It can be used to run commands, write, test, and debug scripts in a GUI environment. We can do multi-line editing, syntax coloring, tab completion, selective execution, and lots of other things using this amazing tool. Windows PowerShell ISE is the default editor for Windows PowerShell that comes with all Windows operating systems. IntelliSense is a feature that is also known as auto-completion. It means when we start typing a command, we get all the possible commands that could be made using our typed text. This helps us to reduce our code writing efforts, time, and we don't need to learn the spellings of commands, and also we need not to remember all the possible parameters of a command, and also we don't have to worry about the syntax of our code, because wherever we are wrong in our syntax, PowerShell ISE gives us a hint to correct it. If we have written a multi-line code in script pane of PowerShell ISE and we are in need to run a specific portion of that code, then we can run that selection by using a button provided in GUI of PowerShell ISE that we will be seeing in just a few minutes, or you can run that code by using F8 key as keyboard shortcut. Also, if required, we can run complete code using the button provided in GUI only, or by using keyboard key F5 as shortcut. We can easily copy, paste, or clear the text in console. Also, we can open multi-line script window so that if required, we can work on code of multiple scripts parallelly. Also, we have facility to open new PowerShell command prompt if required using the button provided in GUI only. And the most important, Microsoft is no longer actively developing the PowerShell ISC, but a new candidate for all these development is Visual Studio Code. I believe this reason is enough to make a plan for change from PowerShell ISC to VS Code. We will discuss about Visual Studio Code in coming slides, but before that, let me see a quick demo of PowerShell ISC. To launch PowerShell ISC, we can type in search bar like ISE and we can run application. And once open, it looks like this one. This part is known as script pane. This part is known as console pane. Here we can write individual commands as well, like get -service, enter. So we can get all the services, or in case we want to check the version of this PowerShell, ps version, enter. So we can see it's Windows PowerShell 5.1. PS Edition is desktop. In script pane, we can create any script like this one. And as you can see, once we start typing something, PowerShell ISC suggests the possible values. This feature is known as IntelliSense. So we can choose the desired command and we can run it using run selection. So we need not to select the entire command and then run selection. No. In case we want to select and run a single line, we can click anywhere on that line and click run selection or F8. If I click this, it will run my command for me. In case I want to run only selected part of a line, then I need to choose the selection and click run selection. In case I want to choose the complete script on this page, I can choose run script or F5. The best part of using PowerShell ISC is that I can work on different files or different scripts in the same time. Like suppose in case I am a person who work in different domains, like I work on Active Directory, I work on Exchange Server, I work on Azure, and I use different commands as part of my day-to-day job. So what I can do is I can write all the commands of Active Directory in one window, all the commands of Azure in one window, and like that. And as soon as I get their requirement, I can simply run those commands. I need not to type them again and again. Here we have a button like clear console pane. This button we can use to clear the console, like we have so much of text on our console window. We can click this button to clear our screen. In case we want to open a new PowerShell window to run some exclusive commands, we can run it from there. Like if we click this, it will open a new window for us and we can use it in any ways like this one and enter. So we can close it, and this is our command add-on. So in this we can see like what are the modules that are installed on my computer, like Active Directory and all these things. So and also I can see what are the commands that are available in a particular module. So if I click on any module, it will be loaded over there and I can see all the commands of that module over here. And if I want to use any command, I can click on that and I can click show details, and then we get different features for that, and it tells us like what are the compulsory parameters and what are the optional. So accordingly we can use them. We can close this. And to be honest, I always use ISC. That is the one that helps a lot in our day-to-day job, and also when we are creating a script, it helps a lot. Of course, we cannot develop a script using individual command prompt or PowerShell prompt. So PowerShell ISC or any interpreter of PowerShell is the best option. PowerShell ISC is my best one. I also encourage you all to please start using PowerShell ISC from today only. Stop using this individual console like this one. So you can do all the work that you can do here. You can do all the work here as well. So start using PowerShell ISC. If you need to run individual command, run it over here. If you want to run a script or you want to create a script, you can run them here, and you can, it's like a notepad for you. You can run all your commands over here. Whatever command you need at a time, just click on that and run it. It is as simple as that. And also we have options to customize the look of PowerShell ISC. Like we can select tools, options. Here we can customize different options, like we can choose different colors for different parameters and different attributes for different commands. Like in script pane, if we want to customize anything, we can do it from here. Like for command, suppose I want a color of red or pink or any other color, or suppose if I want to choose any color in console pane, I can do that as well from here. So suppose for just time being, let me try to change the color of our comments. As you can see right now, my comment color is green, and let me change it to pink one. Like suppose we are here and comment and pink and apply and OK. And as you can see, our color has been changed to pink one. Now whenever I will write a comment, it will be pink only. So you can also make such R&Ds, and trust me, it is not going to hamper anything, or it is not going to break anything, because wherever you feel like you don't want this setting and you are confused over somewhere, you can just click restore defaults and all your settings will be default. So without worrying for any breakage, you can make all the R&Ds over here and try to make it customized as per your requirement. So now let's back to our slide part. Visual Studio Code is a cross-platform script editor by Microsoft. Means Windows, Linux, Mac OS, anywhere it can be installed and used. It is free, means we don't have to pay anything for using it. Just download it and install it and start using it. And it is open source, means anybody can contribute to the VS Code by developing its extensions and other required components. Visual Studio Code is not just a software but a platform in itself. We can use VS Code as an interpreter for many languages like Python, C++, PowerShell, and many more. Visual Studio Code can be extended via extensions. Extension is basically a piece of software that is once installed act as a interface between VS Code and language itself. For example, if we want to use VS Code for Python, we need to install Python extension in VS Code. In the same way, if we want to use VS Code for PowerShell, we need to install its extension in VS Code. VS Code supports all the features that are available in PowerShell ISC. In fact, it provides much more features than that. You may have heard that Microsoft is no longer actively developing the PowerShell integrated scripting environment. So I believe it's the right time to make a move to the Visual Studio Code, even if you are a PowerShell ISC user for a long time. You need not to worry about new interface of VS Code. We can configure VS Code so that it behaves largely like PowerShell ISC. We will see it how we can do it in demo. For installing Visual Studio Code, first we need to download this. So again, for downloading, we don't need to remember any URL or link. Just type Visual Studio Code in Google or your browser or any search engine. Enter. The very first link that indicates to code.visualstudio.com, just click on download from that link, and it should show a screen like this. We need to choose as per our OS. Like in case we have Macintosh, we can use this setup. In case we have Linux or Unix, accordingly we can choose from here. Because I have Windows version, so I will be downloading Windows version. Click on this and it will download as per our OS. Like if our OS is 64-bit, it will download that 64-bit. In case 32-bit, it will download accordingly. As soon as our download is complete, just click on this and it will start the setup. Once our setup is started, we can close the browser. Just accept the agreement and click next. We can just keep the default path. Because I installed this Visual Studio Code previously, so it is asking me if I want to overwrite my older folder. yes. Next, please ensure that this check mark is checked, like add to path, requires shell restart. This will help us to run our VS Code even from command prompt. We can click next. We can cross check our settings here. Like if we are okay with all these, we can click install. As soon as our setup is complete, we can launch the Visual Studio Code. Finish. So like when our Power Studio Code opens, it looks like this. So currently it doesn't has PowerShell extension. So we need to install PowerShell extension in this so that we can manage our PowerShell code. Like it is also suggesting me, do you want to install recommended extension for PowerShell? Because I am already trying to open PS1 files in Visual Studio Code, though it is picking from my previous session. On the basis of that, it is suggesting me I don't want to install this. We will be installing from here so that you can see, like in activity bar we have a button extensions. Click on that, and from there we can choose the extension with name PowerShell. Once we type this, we get so many extensions. We need to choose one that is from Microsoft. Just click on install and it is installing. As you can see, this extension is from Microsoft and it has installed. And we can close this. We can close all these things. No, I don't want to save. No, I don't want to save. No. So we can just close this VS Code and we will open it again. To open VS Code, we can type in search button like Visual Studio Code, and we can see this application is there. We can click just this one, and as you can see we have one extension over there, like PowerShell Command Explorer. If we will click that, so our PowerShell console is ready. But as you can see, it is very much different from PowerShell ISC. In case somebody is coming from PowerShell ISC background, he may feel some difficulty in using PowerShell. Like he can feel some difficulty in using VS Code. For that, Microsoft has a provision like we can create a PowerShell ISC environment in Visual Studio as well. So in such case, if we want to create a PowerShell ISC environment in our Visual Studio Code, we can create that. Like we can click View, click on Command Palette and type here ISC, and we can see we have one option is there, enable ISC mode. Click on that, and as soon as we click on that, you can see our view has changed. Okay, so we can just maximize it and you can see like this. If we try to check like which version of this PowerShell is, PS version, enter, and you can see it is our PowerShell core. Okay, and in case we want to create a new script, we can create, like we can create a new file and like get hyphen service. As you can see, we are getting our IntelliSense as well. Like if we try to type some command, we get hints for its auto completion like we saw in our PowerShell ISC. So basically Visual Studio Code has all the features of PowerShell ISC. In fact, it has more than that. So if we type and like PowerShell ISC, we have here run the complete script or run some selection. So let me run the selection. As you can see, our command has run and it is showing the output. In case we want to check like, or if we want to work with Windows PowerShell version, so we can do with that as well. Like we can select PowerShell here, and if you will see its version, is PS version 5.1, and PS Edison is desktop, means it is Windows PowerShell. So now you can see like we have exactly same environment as of PowerShell ISC. So in case anybody is coming from PowerShell ISC background, or he want to work in that environment, he can create an environment in Visual Studio Code as well, and he can enjoy the same environment. And in case we want just these two consoles only, we can hide this one, just hide sidebar, and now we are getting full space to work. And we have so many options over there. Like basically Visual Studio Code is a platform in itself, so if we try to cover its features, even days and weeks will be less. So we will not be going in that depth. In case required, we will be creating a separate video for that. So for now, for this series, this is enough, and from this point we can start working with Visual Studio Code. It's a very good product, it's very mature product. Let's get back to our slide part. I have seen many people using standard notepad application to create scripts, and they take hours to create a very simple script. It is not like because they do not know the logic or they do not know the commands, but because they make mistakes in syntax every time, which can be handled very easily in PowerShell interpreter like ISC or VS Code. I request you all, at least you should avoid such mistakes in case you are already making. We have been provided with such beautiful and efficient tools. Use them to their full capacity. So start using PowerShell ISC or VS Code for all PowerShell work from today only. And in this complete series, we will be using PowerShell ISC or VS Code only to edit any code or to show a demo or for all the work. Trust me, even experts don't memorize how to use thousands of commands in PowerShell. They don't remember what exact parameters a command have. But one thing they always learn is how to use the help system within the PowerShell in a very efficient way. They rely on interpreters like PowerShell ISC and VS Code and help systems. Mastering the help system is the key to being successful with PowerShell. Get hyphen command is a command that is used to get commands that are installed on computer, including cmdlets, alias, functions, filters, or it may be scripts. While get hyphen help is a multi-purpose command, means we can use it to discover commands, and once we have discovered them, then we can learn about how we can use them. Both these commands can be used to discover commands, but the only difference is that get hyphen command discovers command from code itself, but get hyphen help command discovers the commands from help documentation only. Let's discuss both these commands very quickly. We have already discussed the use of this command. Let's go into a quick demo to see its parameters in action. Let me see a quick demo for these commands, and let me use PowerShell ISC for this purpose. And in case we need more space, so we can just scroll it up, and now we have more space to work in our console. Okay, let's start with get hyphen command. This command is used to basically discover the commands. Let me use it. Suppose if you want to discover all the commands which contain service in their name, we can search it in this way, service, and you can see we have so many commands that have service in their name, like this one, this one, this one. But we want to be very specific. Like if you can see, it has listed us all the like functions, commandlets, applications. But in case we are interested in a particular type, like suppose commandlets, so how we can filter that? We can just use like see, this is the beauty of PowerShell ISC. Like we don't need to remember anything. It gives us all the hints, and we can choose command type, enter, and it's cmdlet. Can you see? I have not to type even, and even I have not to remember. I need not to remember anything. So it is doing all the job for me by its own. So let's type enter, and you can see like I'm getting only commandlets, but not other things like functions or applications or all those things. In case I already know the name of command, I just want to get the information about it, like from which module this is, from which version, and all those things. So I can use it like get hyphen command and command name is get hyphen service, enter, and you can see its command type is commandlet, version is this one, and source is this one, like microsoft.powershell.management. So this is a homework for you. You need to search about other parameters of this command, and you need to find them by your own and how to use them. So I will tell you how in my coming demo. Help or man can be used in place of get hyphen help command. They are kind of alias. If we don't provide complete command and we provide some hints only for that using wildcards, then it suggests us the possible commands by discovering them. But if we provide complete command, then it suggests us how we can use that command as per our requirement. Mentioned are some parameters of this command like full, detailed, examples, online, parameter, show window. We will see them in working just a few minutes in a quick demo. So let me start with get help. So basically in case if we want to search for commands that we already not know, so what we can do is we can provide the some portion of that command using wildcards. Like suppose I want to list all the commands that has service in their name as we did in last demo, get hyphen service. As you can see, it has listed all the commands, in fact all functions, applications as well, which have service in their name, as you can see like this. So in case we want to choose a particular type only, then we can put a parameter category, and it's suppose we are interested in commandlets only, enter and enter. Now we are getting only commandlets only. So in this way we can use get hyphen help command to discover the commands. And in case we are already aware like what command we need to take help about, so we can type it directly like get hyphen service, enter, and so by default, it will provide me all the information about that command. So by default, it will give me the default information about that command. In case I am interested in some particular type of information of that command, I can use different parameters to find that. Like suppose in case I'm interested in detailed information of that command, I can use detailed parameter like enter, and as you can see I'm getting details as well, like how I can use that command and different parameters, and as you can see like I'm getting details as well. Okay, and in case I'm interested in examples as well, like how to use this command with examples, so what I can use is I can put here examples and enter. So as you can see now I'm getting examples as well. As you can see this is example number 8, like we are trying to sort services by some property, and this is example number 7. So in this case we are getting examples of different use cases. Okay, and in case if we are interested only in knowing about parameters of this command, so what we can do is we can type parameters, and oops, we need to provide parameter name as well. And in case we are interested in all the parameters, what we can do is we can put wildcard so that we can get information about all the parameters of this command, enter, and as you can see we are getting information about all the parameters of this command. And in case we want to use some other parameter like we can use full to get the full details of this command, and like we can use online to get the online help of this command, like it will open a web page and it will show the help documentation for this command and show window. Yeah, this is my favorite one, to be honest, because what it does is it opens a window separately, and I can easily read the documentation, and in case I am interested in searching something, so I can get that as well. Like if I want to search for a particular keyword, I can search that, and in case I am not interested in so much of details, I can filter it using I only want synopsis, I don't want anything else. Okay, and as you can see, we are getting the synopsis only and not anything else. And in the same way, if we want like examples, okay, and I'm getting examples only. So in this way we can use it efficiently, and in case we are stuck anywhere, we can check the help of that command. And second thing is we can use help as well. We can use only help. It's a kind of alias for get hyphen help command. So like if I use this and get hyphen service and enter, so it is also doing the same job. So I can use this as well. This will save my code write time and code length itself. So let me clear the screen. And also one more thing, PowerShell 3.0 onwards, documentation and help documentation especially, it's not a part of OS, so we have to download it separately. So what we can do is we can update that documentation time to time, like once in a 2 months or 3 months or like that, so that if there is any update in documentation, it can be updated. Like suppose I want to update documentation on this computer, so what I can do is update hyphen help. So what it will do is it will help, it will update the documentation. As you can see, it is downloading the contents and it is updating the help content. So it will update all the modules and all the contents of those modules in terms of documentation and help content. It may take 1 or 2 minutes depending on your network bandwidth.